Road trips to national parks are the ultimate adventure, but somehow packing for them can turn that excitement into chaos. Have you ever packed for a park trip and ended up basically bringing your whole house? Extra shoes, 5 just in case outfits, a jacket you never wore, and every time you stop, you're digging through the trunk like you're on a survival show. I've done it, and I finally realized something. Most national park trips don't require more stuff. They require smarter packing, and sometimes the small intentional item you pack is what saves the trip. I'll tell you about the time that ice cleats saved our Rocky Mountain road trip visit in just a minute. Hi, I'm Teresa from an acre in the city, and I've traveled to all 50 states and over 80% of the National Park Service sites. And I've learned that packing light, it's about bringing what actually matters. So today I'm walking you through what exactly to pack for a national park road trip without overpacking, plus what you can confidently leave at home. Let's start with what stays in the car. Think you know what to pack for a national park road trip? Most people are actually shocked at what makes the must-bring list. First, snacks in a cooler. This saves you money and keeps you flexible. I pack simple breakfasts, sandwich supplies, and grab-and-go snacks. Second, refillable water bottles. Hydration is not optional, especially in hot or high-altitude parks. Third, a basic emergency kit. Jumper cables, flashlight, first aid supplies, and yes, real paper maps. Cell service disappears in most parks, and GPS isn't always reliable. A paper map keeps you from accidentally exploring somewhere you didn't mean to. And here's something that people forget. Your packing list, it changes depending on where you're staying. If you're camping, that's one list. If you're staying at a lodge or hotel, that's a different list. Don't pack for both. Now let's simplify the area that most people go overboard, clothing. Here's the secret to not overpacking clothes. Layers. What if I told you you could pack half as much and still handle almost any weather? Here's my formula. 3 tops, 2 bottoms, 1 warm layer, 1 waterproof layer, 1 good pair of hiking shoes, optional, 1 casual shoe. That's it. And this is where our Rocky Mountain trip comes in. We went at the very end of May. Trail Ridge Road had just opened. At lake level, the park felt mild. At the top of the pass, it was wildly windy, like hold your hat on windy. Extra layers were absolutely necessary. And around Bear Lake, it was still icy. People were slipping everywhere, but we had packed ice cleats, kind of made people need this ice, and they completely saved us. We were able to walk confidently, while others were sliding all over the place. That trip taught me something. You don't need more clothes. You need more layers. Moisture-wicking base layer, insulating mid-layer, waterproof outer layer. That handles almost everything. And if your trip is longer, plan a laundry stop instead of packing double. If you want my full planning system that walks you through how to decide what to bring, from gear to route to final prep, grab my 5-day to your perfect outdoor adventure guide. It's linked below. It breaks everything into simple, manageable steps, so you don't forget the small stuff. Now let's talk about what actually goes into your day pack. Packed your hiking boots? Great. But that's not enough. For most park hikes, you don't need extreme survival gear, but you do need water, snacks, hat and sunglasses, a small first aid kit, headlamp, portable charger. Depending on the park, you might also want trekking poles, especially for elevation, or icy trails, like we saw at the Rocky Mountains. And if you're headed somewhere with wildlife concerns, don't underestimate safety gear, like bear spray. At Glacier National Park, bear spray is a must. Know the terrain before you go. Desert Park? Bring extra water, and be sure to have sun protection. Mountain Park? Layers. Coastal Park? Light jacket. Prepared doesn't mean overloaded. It means intentional. Now, let's simplify tech, because this is another overpacking trap. Overwhelmed by gadgets? You don't need most of them. You'll need your phone, a portable battery pack, a camera if you use one, maybe a small tripod. That's it. Your phone can handle navigation, photos, reservations, and communication. And here's a smart tip. Use cloud storage. That way, you won't panic if something happens to your phone. Less tech equals less weight, which equals less stress. Keep it simple. Keep it purposeful. Here's the mindset shift that changed everything for me. Pack for the trip you plan, not the trip you're afraid of. Most overpacking happens because we imagine every possible scenario. What if it's colder than expected? What if I need a different outfit? What if I suddenly want to do something totally different? Instead of packing for every what if, pack for the 90% likely plan. Then layer strategically. That's why layers work so well. That's why 1 pair of good shoes beats 3 pairs of mediocre ones. That's why 1 carry-on suitcase beats a trunk full of stuff. Packing light doesn't mean you're unprepared. It means being intentional. And that intention is what makes road trips feel calm, not chaotic. Let's talk about my personal packing formula. Here's what I bring on most road trips. We'll assume this is for a week. 1 carry-on size suitcase, 1 day pack, 1 cooler, and 1 gear bin. That's it. Simple, repeatable, almost universal. It works in mountain parks, it works in desert parks, and it works in coastal parks. When you pack this way, unloading takes less than 5 minutes. Hotel transfers are easy. You're not digging through layers of stuff in parking lots. And honestly, the less you're managing your belongings, the more you're enjoying the parks. And that's the goal. If you want the exact step-by-step process I use before my trips, from choosing your destination to your final prep, grab my 5 days to your perfect adventure guide, link below. It walks you through the entire planning process, so nothing gets forgotten and nothing gets overpacked. And now that you know what to pack, you're going to want to make sure that you didn't forget anything critical to your safety. Click the video on the screen for my essential road trip safety checklist, because smart packing is step number 1. Safe travel is step 2. And tell me in the comments, what's one thing that you always overpack? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.